Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Clues, Cues and Reviews, and today we're looking at the most recent episode of One Piece. I was supposed to do Boku no Hero Academia also today, but essentially I came home from work and fell asleep not too much longer after. And because of that nap, my schedule's all over the place and I more than likely won't be able to do that day. But I wanted to do One Piece. Just to give you an update as well, I have started catching up on Haikyuu. Chapters wise, I've read the first 25 chapters where they get into the practice game, and from an anime perspective, I'm on episode 6, which is the start of the practice game. So more than likely what I'm looking to do with Haikyuu is watch all the anime before the third season comes out, read all the chapters, do a catch-up video that covers the 2 seasons of the actual manga, like so animated manga kind of comparison, and then start doing regular reviews from there once I've caught up. So hopefully very soon I'm gearing to get that done before the beginning of season 3. And also I was meant to do that with Shokugeki no Shoma. I haven't been able to do that, but I am a lot further ahead with that. I'm on chapter 70 with that, and I just need to catch up with that one as well. So look forward to them coming out very soon. Probably end of September is what I'm guessing at, timing wise, and I will do an update very soon. But without further ado, let's get into the review. Now, point number one is an important point for me, as with all 5 of the talking points I normally talk about per chapter. These are the ones that are important to me. They might not be everyone's most important points, but I think they're interesting and I need worth mentioning. So, point number 1 is the cover page. The cover page has Yasop reacting to the 500 million berry bounty, and it looks like the guy with the dragon tattoo, as well as the beast tamer with the monkey, is also in frame. There's someone in the background as well, and they're on some unknown island at some ruins, and it's always good to see members of Shanks' crew. We don't get to see them that often. They're part of a legendary Yonkou crew, and we haven't really seen their full powers. What's Ben Beckman up to, what Shanks up to at this moment in time, we don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, interesting point number 1. So, point number 2, it was a key element of this chapter, and a lot of the chapter was focused on this: the battle between Cracker and Luffy. And it was short-lived. Granted that a lot of people thought that, but it doesn't look like it's over. So I want to spend some time kind of discussing this, purely because there are a lot of elements in here, and this will take quite a good chunk of my overall video. So when you actually think about this fight, Luffy tries all his key powerful techniques: normal gear second, gear third, haki dope, and Kaka takes him, and Luffy's struggling, and he's getting worked at that point. He's getting flung about through trees and everything else and destroying the terrain. He gets hit by the pretzel sword, which reminds me a little bit of that one of Doflamingo's characters, the guy that can twist his sword. I cannot even remember his name. Diamante? I think it was Diamante. And basically like that, and he also had Hard Biscuit. There's key moments of that conversation where Luffy goes in and he can't penetrate that biscuit, and the Hard Biscuit shield, and he basically says this is the hardest armament haki that he's felt. So maybe, Cracker is a specialist in armament haki. And then he gets pinned down by the shield, and then he says something about Sanji that he shouldn't have. Next thing you know, Gear 4th, Kong Gun sends him on his ass. Not King Kong Gun, Kong Gun. It breaks through his shield and it sends Cracker flying. Blanked eyes, which normally indicates one of 2 things: either he's completely wasted, or he's took brutal, like life is on the line type of damage, fatal damage. when he's landed, it's not really clear whether he makes a noise or not, but the homies are asking, Cracker, Cracker, Sir Cracker, and he doesn't get up. I don't know if he's still conscious. It looks like the fight is over. If this is the end of the fight, then it shows you how powerful Gear 4th is. Unfortunately, it also shows you that there's a big gap between Gear 3rd and Gear 4th, and that gap has to get closed as he masters Gear 4th. And imagine the more Haki masters and the more he gets that assistant, the better it will be. But at the moment, Gear 4th is looking damaging. What this also does, it reinforces the point that Doflamingo was a tough son of a bitch, considering he took that, and on top of that, he took a King Kong gun. Granted, he had his string devil fruit ability, and that probably cushioned some of the blow, but he took some damage. Does that make him stronger than Cracker? Probably not, because I think physical strength wise, Cracker's on another level physically, but I think tenacity and toughness is probably where Doflamingo kind of outshines Cracker. So that was interesting to point out. Is this the end of the fight? Probably, but there's always a chance he could get back up, because the guy didn't have a bounty of 800 odd million for the sake of it. But that's not to say Cracker is a scrub, but it took Gear 4th to take him down, which is at this moment in time, as far as we know, Luffy's trump card. So points to bear in mind in this point, compared to Doflamingo, I guess he's not as tenacious and durable at this point. This could change if he gets back up and carries on fighting. He only took Kong gun. He did not take King Kong gun or the Rhino Schneider or the Culverin or Leo Bazooka or anything like that. So there's many techniques that haven't hit him. If he does get back up, I think it's gonna be a one-sided affair. I think King, the fourth gear of Luffy is something else, because he made Doflamingo punch back. So I see no difference here, and it does show to the importance of how much of a bounty he can have after this. If he can do this to the third commander, I'll talk about the key points around them later on. But if he can do this to the third commander, he's probably going to be able to do this to the second or first, provided there's not that much of a difference. If they're all quite similar, he's probably going to be able to do this to all of them. Will he be able to do a Big Mom or other Yonko? I don't know. Will it work on Kaido? At this point, unlikely, but was crazy to see. Point number 2. Point number 3 was probably the most startling piece of information as part of this chapter. It was to do with the past. There's a conversation between Broly and Nami, and it's to do with the worst generation. And I guess the conversation is about how they've got their 15 seconds of fame, 15 minutes of fame, and they think they can come to the new world and do whatever they want. It's not the case, because it turns out in the time skip of the 2 years while the Straw Hats were fighting or training, members of the worst generation made attempts to enter Big Mom's territory. That was Kid, Apu, Capone, and Urouge. So the 4 members that were mentioned. Now, Capone, as we know, kind of realized his place and joined Big Mom, although it looks like he's trying to overthrow her. How far he's going to get with that, I don't know, knowing Big Mom's information system. Kid and Apu apparently just lost. They kind of realized what was going on, and the only one that could do something was Urouge. Urouge apparently beat the 4th commander, so there used to be 4 commanders. He defeated the 4th, and now there are only 3. What this tells you is a few things. Urouge is a beast, and he must have worked on his endurance and his ability to take punishment, because based on his devil fruit ability, the more damage he takes from an enemy, the more he can inflict back, because that's his devil fruit ability. So he must have been able to take some decent damage, but it takes its toll on his body, and that's what we saw him up in the clouds out. Now, has he been there for a while? Did this battle just happen recently? We don't know. But yeah, it begs the question, who was the 4th commander? Was it somebody we saw? Somebody that we've already seen? Or was it somebody that we've not seen before, we've heard of, and that's it? I'm going to throw out a name there. This could be the wildest thing. This could not even be anywhere close to what happened in the past. But this is what I thought about when I was kind of thinking about it. What if Pedro was the fourth commander, and in those 2 years he fought, he lost, and that was his shame. They got kicked out of Big Mom's territory. That's why he was recognized there. That's why Peckham's listened to him. And after his embarrassment, he went back to the Zoo Island. Crazy theory. Would be funky to find out if that came true, but a crazy idea that people were sleeping on the idea of Rouge. Now I think this kind of holds true with any kind of member of the Straw Hats or the Alliance or the enemies, anyone in this One Piece world. Oda himself has said he likes the idea of people that seem to be weak to be strong, to become strong later, because he doesn't like how something happens in one of his arcs and all of a sudden the person that's been defeated is now chump change and the bum. He likes to bring them back. He's probably going to do that with Jack, and he's probably going to do that with Cracker as well. So the fact that he likes to do that stuff could be an indication of potentially something with Pedro. But here's the thing though. If Pedro was one of the commanders and now he's an ally of the Straw Hats, he's a force to be reckoned with. I'm just saying. That's possibly how they know what he looks like as well. Anyway, that's point number 3, I guess. Point number 4. The battle between Broly and Nami has commenced. I like the fact that they're getting to it straight away. It looks like they want to tie up any kind of loose ends. It might not all be finished in one chapter, but the fact that we're getting the beginning of this is interesting. Nami begins to get dragged into the middle world, and Broly tries to do that up until the point the giant himself, Mr. Pound, Mr. former Big Mom's husband, cracks his stepdaughter one, and she has to let go, surprising even her. And then next thing you know, we get the Climate Tempo, Lightning Bolt Tempo, boom, deals with her. Now, we also get warned that because of her ability and the glass mirror world, that she could turn up anywhere because she's got mirrors set up everywhere. It does need resolving at some point, because we really like to make use of Chopper and Carrot at some point in the future, because the fighting force can't just be Luffy and sneaky Pedro and Brook. Something has to happen. Now, with that being said, I do want them to have an all-in-all battle, and I want Nami to figure out what's going on with her ability. I'm sure we're going to find that out very soon. It's about time someone else got to shine other than Straw Hat Luffy, because although we like the idea that Luffy's being the man and he's building his reputation becomes a lot more stronger when his crewmates are stronger. So we don't want his reputation to be, oh yeah, Luffy's strong, oh yeah, Zoro's strong, Sanji's alright, we've got God Usopp, but the rest of them are scrubs. You know what I mean? We'd rather have it where it's like Straw Hat Luffy is a beast and he's got monsters on his crew, plus a monster full of alliance full of monsters. You know what I mean? That sounds better. That reputation in the new world would be amazing, right? So that's why we need her to shine. We need her to get out there and show what she's worth, show some development. Otherwise, she's just going to be a big boobed, pretty looking navigator, which isn't the case. She's just got a tempo upgrade. I really want to see it in action. So yeah, that's point number 4. Point number 5. It has been a long ass video, so thank you very much for those who's got to the end. This is the speculation section because I didn't really have a 5th point. It's more to do with what happens next. So let's just say Cracker is down. Cracker being one of the aces in the hole for Big Mom will kind of really rile her up. The fact that she's sent him and he's been dealt with. We don't really know what the process is with the commanders when they lose, because this has never really happened other than when Rouge won. However, we don't even know who the 4th commander is. If it turns out to be Pedro, I'd like to find out what their process is, because if it is Pedro, he's alive obviously, and naturally we'd find out what the removal process was. Also, if it isn't Pedro, I'd like to know who it was and if he's dead or alive, or she. So that's one thing. If he is still conscious, I'd want this fight to really showcase his strength. or his abilities, because being a member of one of the four Yonkou, you need to be powerful. And sometimes people can get caught up in the hype of bounties and assume it's power level. It's threat and influence, I guess, is the best way I like to think of bounties. So being a member of the Yonkou's crew, you need to have a degree of strength, but just the fact that you're a member of the crew would normally indicate a high bounty as well, because you fuck with them, you fuck with the Yonkou, right? Pretty much. So I'd like to see what happens with that. If he does get back up, I want him to really give a fight. Ultimately, I see Luffy taking him down anyway, but it could be a situation where he doesn't even get back up. Like the whole Bruno situation, you know, he went to Gear Tekken, boom, he went down, we only saw one punch, and then he was gonna get ready for Gear 3rd, but we didn't see it. So there's a possibility either way. I do want the Broly situations or Burly situations sorted out, purely because I really want Chopper and Carrot to do something. Carrot got kind of hyped up pretty early when she was introduced, the way she dodged Zoro's attack and went in for the Electra charged attack. People made a big deal out of that, so I want to see her in action right now, see what she can do. There'll be a reason why later on, I'd imagine maybe there's a beast tamer or there's some Zoans on the island potentially, so we can find out what is going on with that. And the whole idea with the Vivre Cards coming to play again, they didn't get attacked anywhere in this chapter. I'd imagine that's going to be a focus point in the next coming chapters, and maybe you never know, they might send someone else if Cracker is down, or unless because he got hit in the head, he gets 2 heads now. Unless like somebody else comes, they'll probably get to Big Mom, and basically they might even call a truce, because we don't know how capable Big Mom is, we don't know how much Luffy can take, and we don't know if there's going to be a Gear 5 anytime soon. There's probably going to need to be if they take on Kaido, but how do you go from dealing with Big Mom to dealing with Kaido so quickly? I don't know. It is a 4 Yonkou arc, we will have to wait and see. Exciting things to come. Has Luffy got stronger? Is that why he's taking down Cracker? If Cracker is down, what happened next? We'll have to wait and see. I can't wait for next week. Can you? If you really enjoyed the chapter, if you really enjoyed my points, if you got to the end, please give me a thumbs up and let me know what you thought in the comment section below, and keep it relevant for the trolls out there. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate that, and I'd like to see you next time. Peace.